Halo guys, hari ini saya di channel YouTube Truelayan 1988 mempunyai topik yang sangat menarik untuk dibahas, yaitu konspirasi di balik social credit system dan apa yang akan terjadi bila diterapkan di seluruh dunia. Hari ini saya juga ingin sekali menyampaikan bahwa pembahasan ini sangat menarik, apalagi dengan ada konspirasi di baliknya. Berikut ini merupakan suatu cuplikan dari video yang perlu kita tonton supaya jadi pembelajaran bagi kita semua. Dan jangan lupa subscribe, like, dan komen khusus channel ini di Truelayan 1988 supaya kita belajar bersama-sama. Berikut cuplikan video ini.
Everywhere she goes, Ouyang Haoyu is followed. What she buys, how she behaves is tracked and scored to show how responsible and trustworthy she is. It's called the social credit system, and in one version now being tested, a person's reputation is scored on a scale of 350 to 950. And Haoyu, with a good score of 752, is okay with it. In fact, most people are.
It's a mechanism pushes you to become a better citizen.
It's big data meets Big Brother, expanding how the government monitors, understands, and ultimately controls its 1.4 billion citizens. Thanks to advances in artificial intelligence and facial recognition, and a web of more than 200 million surveillance cameras.
Are people bothered by privacy concerns?
We think the lot of camera keep the safety is really good. We can accept it.
Companies are experimenting with the algorithms to help the government create the new national social credit system. The government also has pilot projects. In one, citizens are required to do hours of unpaid work to get benefits. And scores are docked for things like littering, a messy yard, gossip, even jaywalking. Video of offenders is shown on the local news. And information collectors like Zhou Aini are paid to report on their neighbors. Her quota, 10 entries a month. Like the man who carried a drunk person home. A good deed, she says. Good social credit gets rewarded with perks like cheap loans and travel deals. But a bad score means public shame and worse. Huang Huijun lost a court case and didn't pay.
Seperti yang Anda lihat tadi di video di atas, perlu dijelaskan bahwa social credit score ini adalah sistem yang dibuat oleh pemerintah Cina untuk mengawasi perilaku para warganya dan memperoleh skor rating baik terburuk maupun teratas. Dan perlu diketahui, dengan social credit score ini pengawasan semakin intensif kepada rakyatnya, yang melalui CCTV yang dipasang di berbagai sektor dengan lebih dari 200 juta CCTV. Sebagianlah itu harus menjadi penjelasan yang begitu masuk akal. Kenapa China begitu getol membangun sistem ini? Karena bertujuan untuk digitalisasi kehidupan. Seperti itulah yang terjadi. Dilihat dari berbagai artikel dari newsdetik.com dan fakenewsmedia.com bahwa social credit system ini merupakan kediktatoran digital yang dibangun oleh pemerintah Cina untuk menguasai setiap warganya. Pernahkah Anda menyadari seandainya kalau social credit score system dari Cina diimpor ke seluruh dunia dan termasuk negara kita, negeri Wakanda ini? Apa yang akan terjadi? Itulah yang membuat banyak orang khawatir. Bisa jadi inilah gambaran sesungguhnya dari pemerintahan tatanan dunia baru yang akan terjadi. Seperti yang pernah disampaikan oleh David Icke, seorang pakar konspirasi dari Inggris, yang mengatakan kalau mau tahu soal tatanan dunia baru, lihatlah Cina. Jadi perlu Anda ketahui bahwa memang semua ini sudah dipersiapkan dari tahun 2014 sampai 2020.
This September, the Italian city of Bologna is piloting a social credit system, the first of its kind in Europe. The municipal government is introducing a smart citizen wallet, rewarding digital points for citizens who demonstrate virtuous behavior. Disturbingly, actions related to one's carbon footprint are central to what's considered rewardable virtuous behavior. Because use is still voluntary, this social credit system isn't yet as all-encompassing as the one that exists in China. Rather than penalizing citizens for not behaving virtuously, as defined by the government, citizens will only be rewarded The government hopes that this distinction, treating the social credit score more like a reward card, will increase the adoption among Italian citizens. While usage remains voluntary, it is definitely a slippery slope. Overall, the success, failure, and rate of acceptance of Bologna's soft social credit system could have profound consequences for the rest of Italy and may be looked back on as the moment Europe began crossing the Rubicon. Our power is our resistance. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel for more updates and content.
Di dalam video tadi dijelaskan bahwa kota Bologna di Italia menjadi proyek percontohan social credit score yang diimpor dari Cina. Mereka berusaha untuk mencoba apakah social credit score ini akan berhasil diterapkan di Bologna. Kalau sampai berhasil di Bologna, itu akan di seluruh Italia dan di Eropa. Dan ini merupakan hal yang buruk bagi orang-orang Eropa, di mana mereka menjunjung tinggi kebebasan berpikir dan berpendapat dan sangat menjunjung tinggi HAM. Karena apa? Social credit score ini merupakan suatu sistem di mana kita akan diawasi secara ketat, di mana disensor, di mana tidak bisa mengeluarkan pendapat sebebas mungkin seperti di masa lalu. Dan ini merupakan hal yang buruk bagi sebagian besar orang. Tapi di satu sisi membawa kebaikan bagi mereka yang taat pada peraturan. Seperti itulah yang terjadi di Cina. Dari tahun 2004 sampai 2020, begitu insentif pengawasan digital yang luar biasa.
Is a social credit score system. If you go to China, they're piloting it a few years ago in Shenzhen. So I lived overseas. If you go to Shenzhen, back in 2017, they already had facial recognition cameras there. So if you jaywalked in Shenzhen, they would immediately detect that and send you a notification, and they would deduct money from your what they call WeChat account. They use two main apps, WeChat and Alipay. So you can actually deduct your money directly from your account. This is 4 years ago, so this is not like some sort of conspiracy theory. It's not something that's going to happen 10 years into the future. This happened pre-corona in China. And so this system in China that exists is extremely advanced. They can detect if it's a man or a woman. They can guess your age. They can detect what kind of car model it is, who the manufacturer is. This is a sort of technology that we see in all these dystopian sort of films and whatever. And people keep putting it off and thinking that this is something that's going to happen later in my kid's lifetime or my grandkids. It's already here. And if this gets implemented anywhere, especially in a Western nation, it's not going away. And they're going to ask if you're gay. They're going to be asking if you ate 3 pizzas this week because it's unhealthy. If you buy certain books in certain countries, your country doesn't like you, will lose points in the social credit score system. So this is already the reality of the world in certain places, and we need to be aware of that if we don't want that or if we do. And to be perfectly honest, it's total control. Everything you do or don't do will be calculated. To the point where if you have a phone on you, they can detect who you're hanging out with. Oh, you're hanging out with somebody that said something bad 9 years ago on Weibo. Okay, like a Chinese equivalent to Facebook or something like that, right? Oh, you lose 2 points. Oh, you bought Japanese books. You lose 5 points because you don't like Japan. This is what is going to come here because it's already there.
And we're doing that a little bit with contact tracing for COVID, aren't we? So that they can see where you're at and who you're with.
The simple reality is that the technology that CSIS has and all these big tech corporations, they already know where you are. It's just that they don't want to shock the system too much and admit that they haven't. Edward Snowden revealed all this back in 2013. He fled to Hong Kong. They wouldn't keep him there, so now he's in Russia.
Yeah.
But the NSA has all of your information. They know your Google searches from like February 9th, 2004 in a bunker in Colorado.
Help me, Rhonda.
Right? Right? They have all this information. So, but they don't, like in the US, they have the Fourth Amendment. They're not supposed to track you forever, right? So they pretend they don't have it, but they do. If they really want to utilize it, they can. So right now they need the permission of individuals say, oh, we're going to submit to contract tracing, because then they can say, well, you chose that, instead of, well, we're violating your rights for something better, for the common good, as their excuse would be.
Penjelasan dari video tadi dari seorang mahasiswa China, di mana dia melihat sendiri social credit score ini penilaian buruk, dia tidak akan bisa mendapat fasilitas dari pemerintah. dia tidak akan bisa bepergian, dia tidak akan bisa bekerja, dia tidak bisa berbelanja, dan bisa sangat merugikan dia sendiri. Dan anak-anaknya tidak bisa kuliah ataupun sekolah karena mendapat rating yang buruk dalam kredit skor ini, sosial ini. Tapi juga ini merupakan hal yang baik bagi mereka yang mengikuti peraturan yang tidak membangkang, tidak banyak protes. Berarti ini suatu hal yang tidak mudah bagi sebagian besar orang, di mana orang-orang terbiasa mengeluarkan pendapat dan opininya. Dan pasti ini sangat mengganggu mereka yang pro demokrasi, bagi mereka yang menjunjung kebebasan, bagi mereka yang menjunjung hak asasi manusia. Tapi di Cina sangat lain, karena apa? Pada awalnya dibangun sistem ini untuk membangun kepercayaan antara pemberi utang dan penerima utang. Demikianlah penjelasan singkat tentang social credit score ini, supaya menambah wawasan bagi Anda yang menonton channel YouTube ini. Seperti itulah gambaran yang terjadi di masa mendatang. Saya ucapkan terima kasih bagi para penonton setia yang menonton channel YouTube ini. Silakan komen, like, dan subscribe channel ini supaya channel ini semakin berkembang. Saya ucapkan terima kasih atas kesediaan Anda menonton video ini. Terima kasih semuanya.